Hey, peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings. I just wanted to share this with y'all real quick, man. While the thought came to me. Using this young lady as an example. This is Jessica Lucas. I remember her from the show Gotham. All right. Very beautiful young lady. Now, would you be able to guess her nationality or her parents? Just looking at her. I'm using this as an example of how diverse genetics are. All right. Now, me looking at her, I would assume that she was probably have parents from, say, India, possibly Guyana, possibly Sri Lanka, right? Maybe Trinidad and Tobago, right? But instead, her father is black and her mother is European. This is to show you the diversity of genetics. Right? And over the years, how we as a people, us as human beings, we have mixed or interbreeded amongst ourselves to make this beautiful, diverse, of color on the planet. All right? And her parents are black and white. You see what I'm saying? Her parents are black and white. And I was looking at the movie yesterday. I was looking at the movie Children of Men. And it made me kind of sad a little bit. But then I realized that in the movie Theo, Theo was a chosen one. He was a chosen one. If you observe the movie, so the beginning of the movie, he goes to get some coffee, and then he's looking at the news about the youngest person in the world was unalive because of an altercation. All right. The youngest person on the planet at the time was unalive because of an altercation. And according to the lore of the movie, the youngest person in the world, he could not handle being a celebrity. He could not handle being a celebrity. All right, he didn't realize why him being the youngest on the planet made him so significant. All right, because he was literally the baby of, I guess, to the culture, and it affected a lot of people in the movie. It affected a lot of people. But you see, what he did was he went to work, and then he used the young man's passing as an excuse to go see his friend. And his friend was living off grid. Alright? And his friend seemed like he was like big into philosophy and like probably music and different cultures and stuff like that. And he also was using cannabis. Right? And we know now, based on the science, all the different positive usage of cannabis besides, of course, smoking it, you can extract a lot of things that could be utilized to help people medically, right? But that's a whole different cup of tea, right? But it's being utilized now in a positive way throughout the science to help people. I remember one that stood out when they was doing early studies on cannabis was I think it was a strain. I'm not sure if it was a strain or if they used it in some type of synthetic form as medicine, but I remember there was a medicine called Charlotte's Web, and it was used to help somebody's daughter at the time. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it was. It was utilized to help somebody's daughter who's going through some type of medical issues. But I say that to say this: his friend was surrounded around nature. Right? There was a bunch of trees around. His home almost looked like a what do they call those things where you can grow plants in it, and it's surrounded by glass? What's those things called again? Like a greenhouse. That's how his home was. So you can see that his friend was connected to nature. But another thing that I observed too, but he wanted to get away from the city. He wanted to get away from the concrete jungle. And when he was with his friend, he was around cats. I don't know if people observed that. There were two unique scenes when he was around cats. When he was talking to his friend initially, and then when he was trying to get the young lady that had the baby onto the ship, onto the boat. They had to wait, and there was chaos and everything going on outside. I know I skipped a whole bunch of scenes, but those are the two scenes that stood out to me. Whenever he was like relaxing, there was a cat next to him. And you guys know that cats, it is said that cats, when they purr, they give off a healing frequency. All right? So to me, he was a chosen one in that sense. He liked to be out in nature. He took time to be around nature, right? To kind of ground himself and breathe, exhale. And he used to be in the lore of the movie. He used to be a political activist, meaning that he was even his friend in the movie. I can't remember his friend's name. His friend said that him and his then wife, who was also a significant character, I think her name is Julian, they wanted to change the world. So whether Theo knew it or not, he was a chosen one, right? But then Theo went, he forgot all about the political stuff, and then he just was just a regular, he put himself into the matrix in a sense, right? He wasn't thinking about that stuff anymore, right? He even said it when he was kidnapped by the group called the Fishes. Ironically, they were called the Fishes, right? And his wife was one of the members of that group. Matter of fact, she was one of the key assets in the group. She was known as a mirror. They even said in the movie, she's known as a mirror, right? So she carried messages, right? And she's the only one that could receive these messages. And the mission, or the whole overall idea of the movie, was to get the young girl with the baby to what is known as the Human Project. Because at that time, the world as we know it was falling apart. Right? You can see the militarized state of then Britain, according to the movie. Right? Immigration was a big issue. right? It seemed like it was like a separate sign of classes of peoples, right? Very, very scary. Some of the things that you probably would think of prior to that was happening prior to World War II, right? It gave that type of scenario. It was kind of sad, but hearing the stories of everybody in the movie, everything connected. Like when the caretaker, the nurse, I guess she used to be a nurse, and she was taking care of the young lady that was with child, and she was giving her story of how the infertility started. She said that she kept seeing miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage, and she said that she would check her charts, for incoming patients, for mothers to be, of course, and she said that she's seen no names, and she said that she called a friend that worked at a different hospital in a different city, and she said it was the same thing for her. And she said that her friend called her sister that lived in another city that was also in the medical field, doing similar nursing or treating pregnant women, and she said that the same thing for her. So three different cities, 3 different locations, and then they started to see the trend, and thus the timeline, it was 2027, and no more children are being born. I'm not trying to scare people or put that manifest that, but man, sometimes when these guys do movies, I wonder sometimes if it's based on like a dream, or where did they get the inspiration? I think it was based on a book though. I think that movie was based on a book. But I have to say that movie was I felt emotional after seeing it, and at the end just hearing the children playing and laughing. And the nurse, she said something very, very, very significant to me. She said it felt odd not hearing the voices of children. She said seeing the playgrounds were empty and not hearing the voices and the laughter of children. I don't know why that stuck with me, but that was very, very very deep. I think that was a very, very significant line in the movie. I think she said it's a weird world when you don't hear the voices of children. Hey, those of you that have children at this time, man, I say continue to be good parents. Love your children. Your children know and feel more than you could ever imagine. I would say, with them observing this world that we're living in now, talk to them maturely, right? Talk to them maturely. You don't have to share your conversations with your children outside of your home settings, of course, right? You can tell your children, hey, this is between us. Don't talk about this outside the house. Some of you, I grew up like that now. Your parents would tell you, what we talk about, don't speak about outside this house. You understand? It's the same deal, right? Speak to your kids about the things that are happening in the world, right? Because they're seeing it. They are seeing it. Discuss these things. Don't try and sweep it under the rug and try to ignore it, because they're going to see it. They're seeing the changes, the subtle changes on this planet. All right, speak to your kids, speak to your children, man. I haven't talked to my kids in a while, but I know that they're good. As much as I have disagreements about certain things with their mother, I know that she's still a good mother, and I don't want to really stress myself about worrying about my kids. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like a political refugee. So my kids not being around me is kind of good too, because then they're safe. All right. Because I don't know. I don't know sometimes why I'm going through some of this stress. I don't know if it's because I don't know. People see me as some type of messiah or some type of prophet. That's just from me talking. And observe the signs around you, chosen ones, enlightened ones, people with a soul. Observe the things around you. All right. And I'll say, parents, continue to be good parents. Encourage your children. Support your children. I know the world is a crazy place, but whatever it is that your child wants to do or whatever they want to pursue, encourage them. If it's not nothing crazy. All right, but if they have dreams and desires, encourage them, support them. All right, it's important. All right, this is why I say that us as adults, we should be growing. We should be growing older and wiser with time. Right, especially going into our older ages. Like, we shouldn't become miserable and angry and bitter, like, because we're not young anymore and we have a dislike or a disdain for younger people. And you see this sometimes. That some older people, they're not happy about being old. They have not enjoyed the life that they have lived, where they can say, I can peacefully transition on now. I asked my aunt what it was like when my grandmother, the day my grandmother passed away. Oh, it's kind of rough for me. I apologize. But she said that my grandmother she said my grandmother seemed like she was fine, and she said that she wanted to lay down. I think my aunt said they had went. I think they had went out earlier that day. I can't remember if they went to church or they just went out for just like some type of function or something. But they had just went out and came back. My grandmom she was 89 at the time. And my aunt said that she passed away in her sleep. I apologize, people. But she passed away peacefully, man, in her sleep. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings. May we all get a chance to grow old and be wise. That way, our children now and our grandchildren will admire us and want to take care of us the way they took care of us when we were younger. That way we can pass on that type of love, that type of compassion, that type of I don't know, just being alive. Pass that on to our kids, so that we could grow old and peacefully pass away. Or transition on. I don't want it to sound so bad, but to transition on. My great-grandmother, she was 93 when she passed away. And my aunt said to me that even when she passed away, she said that she felt that my great-grandmother just, not saying that she kind of like, because my great-grandmother, she was strong, man. She was a very, very strong lady. And I mean like physically strong. Like if you see her, she looked like she could run a marathon. But my aunt told me that she felt like my great grandmother just like felt like it was just time for her to rest. Like for her spirit to transition on. And the same thing with my grandmother. That's why sometimes I look at some older people and I realize that you're so angry and resentful, and so you have so much I don't know what it is that's inside of some people that they probably will not transition on peacefully. Peace and blessings, everybody. I don't want to talk too long. Peace and blessings.